We're diving into the fascinating story of the 1981 P. Ellis Island, Washington quarter. Yep, this little beauty could make you a millionaire. Stick around, because I've got the details on how to spot this rare gem and what makes it so valuable. And trust me, you'll want to hear the story of how I almost missed my chance at a fortune once. True story. First off, let's talk about what makes this quarter so special. The 1981 P. Ellis Island, Washington quarter wasn't just your average coin. This was a commemorative design honoring the iconic Ellis Island, the gateway for millions of immigrants chasing the American dream. But here's the kicker, only a tiny number of these coins were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and even fewer survived in pristine condition. Combine rarity with historical significance and boom, you've got collectors ready to pay top dollar, or should I say top quarter, for one of these bad boys. So how do you know if you have one? Grab your magnifying glass, or your phone camera if you're like me and constantly losing stuff. Look for these key, the date 1981 with the letter P under Washington's neck and image of Ellis Island on the reverse side. Beautifully detailed with sharp lines and clean edges. A coin in near-perfect condition, or what collectors call mint state. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but why is it worth $1 million? Well, coins like this are basically the Beyoncé of the numismatic world, rare, flawless, and always in demand. One of these coins sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $1 million because it was graded as nearly perfect by professionals. Imagine turning 25 cents into $1 million. That's like finding out your old Beanie Baby collection is retirement money. Speaking of missing out, here's my story. A couple of years ago, I was going through an old jar of coins from my grandparents. I was looking for fun dates, like my birth year, when I spotted a shiny quarter that looked a little different. It had Ellis Island on it. My heart started racing. Could this be the one? Turns out it was a replica my grandpa had picked up on a trip to New York. Clothes, but no cigar. I laugh about it now, but you can bet I double-check every coin I come across these days. So, if you've got some spare change lying around, don't underestimate it. That 1981 P. Ellis Island, Washington quarter could be hiding in plain sight, just waiting to change your life. Check your couch cushions, your glove compartment, or that jar you've been meaning to cash in. You never know. Before you go, here's the deal. I share tips like this all the time. How to spot coins worth money, strategies to build your collection, and even fun stories from fellow coin enthusiasts. So hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Let's turn your pocket change into big change together. We're diving into the story of the 1983 P. Ellis Island, Washington quarter. Yes, that humble piece of metal could buy you a mansion, a yacht, or, let's be real, unlimited tacos for life. Now, before you sprint to your couch to dig through the cushions, stick with me. I'll share the story behind this coin, why it's worth so much, and a personal tale of my own coin hunting adventure. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. So, what's the deal with the 1983 P. Ellis Island, Washington quarter? First off, it's not your everyday quarter. Released by the Philadelphia Mint in 1983, this coin features George Washington on one side and a design commemorating Ellis Island on the other. It was a part of a special limited production which already gives it a bit of a superstar vibe. But here's where it gets juicy. There's a known error in some of these quarters. A few coins were struck with an extraordinary level of detail and a pristine finish. So pristine that they are considered among the rarest of the rare. Combine that with the fact that people didn't save many coins from this year due to high inflation, and boom, you've got a recipe for rarity and value. Now, why $3 million? One of these bad boys recently sold at auction for that jaw-dropping amount. It was graded in perfect condition, a mint state 67, if you're into the technical lingo. That's like the coin equivalent of winning the genetic lottery. Okay, let's pause for a personal story. A few years ago, I got into coin collecting because I was curious if I could strike gold, or, in this case, silver-plated copper. One day, while sorting through some spare change, I found a quarter that looked interesting. My heart raced as I thought, this is it! Spoiler alert, it wasn't. It was just a regular old quarter that had been through the dishwasher too many times. But that thrill of the hunt? Priceless. And who knows? Your lucky find could be right around the corner. Now, back to the 1983 P quarter. If you think you've got one, here's what to do: examine it closely. Look for crisp details, sharp edges, and an uncirculated appearance. If it looks promising, consider sending it to a professional grading service. They'll authenticate and grade it for you. Be patient. Sometimes, the key to selling a rare coin is waiting for the right buyer. Conclusion. So, what's the moral of the story? Always check your change. The 1983 P. Ellis Island Washington quarter is proof that even the smallest things can hold incredible value. And hey, even if you don't find a $3 million coin, you'll learn a lot, have some fun, and maybe even pick up a new hobby. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join our community of coin enthusiasts. I've got tons of tips, tricks, and stories about coins that could be hiding in plain sight. Who knows? Your next coin hunt might just change your life. We're diving into the story of this incredible coin, why it's worth so much, and how you might just have one hiding in plain sight. Alright, let's talk about the 1990 D. Ellis Island Washington quarter. First off, it's part of the commemorative series celebrating Ellis Island, the gateway for millions of immigrants coming to America. While most quarters from the series are worth, well, 25 cents, there's a rare error coin that has collectors losing their minds and their wallets. Here's the deal. These quarters were struck at the Denver Mint in 1990, but a tiny batch of them ended up with a major minting error. Instead of the usual perfect strike, these coins have a misalignment in the design, making them incredibly rare. How rare? Well, only a handful are known to exist, and they've become the holy grail for collectors. Now, I know what you're thinking. How do I know if I have this golden, or should I say, silvery, ticket? Great question. Check for the D mint mark just below the date. Then, look closely at the edge and the lettering. If there's a misalignment or any irregularities, you might just have a winner. Pro tip: use a magnifying glass or even your phone camera to zoom in. Who knew a phone selfie lens could help you strike it rich? Let me share a quick story. A couple of years ago, I was at a flea market when I spotted a box of coins labeled 25 cents each. Naturally, I started digging through it. I didn't find the Ellis Island quarter that day, but I did walk away with a 1943 steel penny worth about $50. Not bad for a quarter, right? Ever since, I've been obsessed with checking every coin I come across. My friends laugh, but who's going to be laughing when I find that $2 million quarter? Spoiler alert, it's not them. Now, about that insane price tag. The last known sale of this rare error coin went for just under $2 million at auction. Why? Because collectors are willing to pay big bucks for rarity and history. It's not just a coin. It's a piece of art, a story, and a symbol of American heritage all rolled into one. So, what's the moral of today's story? Never underestimate the power of a humble coin. That loose change in your pocket could be a life-changing jackpot waiting to happen. Next time you're at a yard sale, a flea market, or even just emptying your car's cup holder, take a closer look at your quarters. You never know when you might stumble upon a $2 million treasure. Before you go, let me ask you this. Would you spend $2 million on a single coin if you had the chance? Drop your answers in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want more tips, tricks, and stories about coins worth money, hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications so you don't miss the next big tip that could turn your pocket change into a fortune. We're talking about the 1994 P. Ellis Island Washington quarter. What makes this coin so special? Why is it worth a jaw-dropping $4 million? And could you have one sitting in your change jar? Let's dive in and find out. Okay, so first, let's break it down. The 1994 P. Ellis Island Washington quarter was part of a special commemorative release to honor Ellis Island and its significance in American history. Sounds cool, right? But here's the kicker. Not all of these coins are worth millions. It's only a super rare error version that takes the cake, or in this case, the vault. Now, why is this coin so valuable? Drumroll, please, it's all about a minting mistake. Yup, even the US Mint has off days. This particular coin has a unique error where the design alignment is off, making it a one-of-a-kind masterpiece. Coin collectors love these quirky errors. It's like owning a Picasso where the nose is on the forehead. It's odd, but priceless. Here's the funny part. A lot of these error coins were circulated before anyone realized their value. That means someone, somewhere, might have used a $4 million coin to buy gum. Let that sink in. Quick story time. A couple of years ago, I started obsessively checking all my coins after hearing about these million-dollar finds. I mean, who wouldn't? One day, I was at a gas station and got a quarter as change. My heart skipped a beat. It was a 1994 P quarter. I rushed home, magnifying glass in hand, sweating like I just found a golden ticket. Spoiler alert, it wasn't the Ellis Island one. But hey, at least I learned what to look for. So, how can you spot this magical coin? First, check the date, 1994, with a little P mint mark under Washington's ponytail. Then, look closely for any weird details like misalignment or double stamping. If it looks odd, you might be onto something. And now for the juicy part, the market value. As of now, this coin is valued at a staggering $4 million. Why? Because it's so rare that even the most seasoned collectors would give an arm and a leg to own it. Imagine cashing in on a coin you found under your couch cushions. Talk about the ultimate treasure hunt. All right, my fellow coin detectives, here's the takeaway. Always check your pocket change. That ordinary quarter in your hand could be a life changer. And even if it's not, the thrill of the hunt is half the fun. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on spotting valuable coins, rare finds, and strategies for building your coin collection, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on the next big coin worth millions. Who knows? The next video might just help you uncover your fortune. We're diving into the fascinating story of the 1995 D. Ellis Island Washington $quarter coin. Could this little treasure be hiding in your couch cushions? Let's find out. But before we jump in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Trust me, you don't want to miss more tips on coins that could turn your piggy bank into a gold mine. Alright, so what's the big deal with this coin? The 1995 D. Ellis Island Washington quarter isn't just your everyday quarter. This beauty was minted as part of a special series to honor Ellis Island, the gateway for millions of immigrants to the United States. It's a piece of history, but the thing that really gets collectors buzzing is its rarity. Now, you might be wondering what makes it worth $5 million. Here's the scoop. Coins like this one gain value due to a combination of scarcity, demand, and condition. Only a limited number were struck with the Denver Mint mark in pristine condition, and over time, most of these coins were lost, damaged, or just plain forgotten. Here's where it gets wild. The $5 million price tag applies to coins graded as MS68 or higher. That's mint state perfection. Folks, like your coin just rolled out of the mint, took a bubble bath, and avoided every single scratch or nick in its life. If you find one, it's like hitting the jackpot. Literally. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at a flea market, the kind where they sell everything from antique furniture to suspiciously new iPhones. While flipping through a pile of old coins, I found a quarter that caught my eye. It wasn't a 1995 D. Ellis Island coin, but it taught me a valuable lesson. I didn't recognize what I had and ended up selling it for $5. Turns out it was worth 50 times that. Lesson learned. Always check your coins carefully. Folks, so how can you spot one of these treasures? Look for the 1995 date, the D mint mark on the obverse side, and, of course, pristine condition. If you think you've got one, get it graded by a professional coin service. Don't just toss it in the change jar. Oh, and a word of caution. There are fakes out there, so don't get scammed. If a deal sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Stick with reputable dealers and grading services to make sure you're getting the real deal. So there you have it. The 1995 D. Ellis Island Washington quarter isn't just a piece of pocket change. It's a piece of history that could be worth a fortune. Remember, treasure hunting starts at home, so go through those old coin jars and piggy banks. Who knows? Your next trip to the coffee shop could turn into a trip to the bank, with 5 million reasons to smile. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button and share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe for more tips on finding coins worth money, cool stories, and strategies to grow your collection. Hit that bell icon so you don't miss out on our next treasure hunt. We're talking about the 1999 D. Ellis Island Washington quarter. Yes, it's real. Yes, it's rare. And yes, it's worth a jaw-dropping $9 million. Let's dive into why this coin is so special, how it became a unicorn in the world of numismatics, and most importantly, what to look for in your own coin stash. Stick around because by the end of this video, you might just want to raid your couch cushions. First things first, what's the deal with this quarter? The 1999 D. Ellis Island Quarter was part of the State Quarter Series, a program designed to showcase all 50 states on the back of Washington quarters. The Colorado Mint pumped out millions of these quarters, so what makes this one so rare? Well, like any good mystery, it's all about the errors. This particular quarter has a double die obverse, meaning the design on the front was struck twice, creating a shadow effect. It's like the coin's own little ghost story. On top of that, some versions have a misalignment in the mint mark, which is like a celebrity autograph gone wrong. It's messy but worth way more. But here's the kicker. Only a handful of these error coins were ever discovered, and collectors are losing their minds over them. That's why the market value for this coin is currently sitting at a whopping $9 million. Yes, you heard that right. $9 million. That's enough to buy a mansion, a yacht, or approximately 36 million tacos if you're a foodie like me. Now, let me share a quick story. A few months ago, I was helping my grandma sort her old coin jar. She's one of those people who refuses to use cards and pays for everything in cash. As we were going through it, I spotted an Ellis Island quarter, and my heart skipped a beat. Was this it? The $9 million jackpot? Spoiler alert, it wasn't. But it was still a fun way to spend the afternoon, and it reminded me that treasure hunting doesn't always mean digging up pirate gold. Sometimes, it's right there in your pocket change.so. How can you spot a valuable 1999 D. Ellis Island quarter? Here are a few tips. Look for doubling on Washington's face or the words Liberty, and In God We Trust. Check the D mint mark. If it's slightly off or oddly shaped, you might be onto something. Make sure to inspect the coin under good lighting or use a magnifying glass. Don't just squint at it like you're trying to read tiny text on your phone screen. Also, if you find one, please don't just toss it back into your pocket to spend on a soda. Treat it like the golden ticket it is and get it appraised by a professional. So there you have it, the 1999 D. Ellis Island quarter, a tiny piece of metal with a price tag bigger than most people's life savings. Who knew that something so small could make such a big impact? Now, here's your mission. Go check your change jars, your car's cup holders, or even your junk drawer. Who knows? You might just hit the jackpot. And if you do, don't forget to let me know in the comments. I'll happily take a cut for the tip. Before you go, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'm always digging up stories about rare coins, hidden treasures, and smart strategies to find money where you least expect it. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. We're diving into the fascinating story of this coin, why it's worth a jaw-dropping $2 million, and how you can spot one. Stick around because this could be your ticket to retiring early, or at least upgrading from instant noodles to takeout for the week. So, what's the deal with the 2000 P. Ellis Island quarter? First off, it's part of the State Quarter Series released between 1999 and 2008. These coins were meant to honor each state, and the Ellis Island design was New Jersey's claim to fame. Pretty patriotic, right? But why is this particular quarter so special? A small batch of these quarters was struck with a minting error. Yep, someone at the Philadelphia Mint must have been having an off day. Instead of the usual copper-nickel composition, these coins were accidentally struck on gold planchets. Gold. It's like they were secretly trying to mint treasure instead of change. Now, you might be thinking, how on earth do I find one of these? Great question. First, grab a magnifying glass or your phone's zoom camera if you're fancy, and inspect any 2000p quarters you come across. You're looking for two key things. The mint mark. It'll be a tiny P near Washington's ponytail. A regular quarter weighs 5.67 grams, but the golden ones weigh a tad more, around 6 grams. If you're lucky enough to find one, congratulations, you just hit the jackpot. But fair warning, if you try to spend it at the corner store, the cashier might look at you like you've lost your marbles. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at my local flea market, casually digging through a bin of junk coins. It was the kind of bin where everything smells faintly of old socks and you're 90% sure you'll leave with a tetanus shot. Anyway, I found a shiny 2000 quarter and got way too excited. Long story short, it wasn't the quarter, but hey, I walked away with a solid reminder to always check my change.so. There you have it, folks, the 2000p Ellis Island, Washington quarter. A little piece of history that could make you a millionaire. Keep your eyes peeled, because you never know what might be lurking in your coin jar or hiding in plain sight in your wallet. If you found this video helpful, or at least mildly entertaining, do me a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe. I've got plenty more tips, stories, and strategies to help you uncover coins worth serious cash. Plus, who wouldn't want a weekly dose of coin humor? We're talking about the 2001p Ellis Island, Washington quarter, a little piece of change that's making some serious noise in the coin world. Before we dive in, grab your coin jars, your magnifying glass, and maybe a cup of coffee, because by the end of this video, you'll never look at your spare change the same way again. Oh, and stick around. There's a twist in my own coin story you won't want to miss. Alright, so what's the big deal about the 2001p Ellis Island quarter? First off, it's part of the State Quarter series, which means it was designed to celebrate the great state of New Jersey and its iconic Ellis Island. But here's the kicker. This isn't your average quarter jingling around with your car keys. This particular coin has an error that makes it worth millions. Let's talk specifics. The 2001p quarter was minted in Philadelphia, hence the P mint mark, and has a special kind of minting error. It's called a double die obverse. What does that mean? In plain English, the design on the front of the coin was accidentally struck twice, creating a slightly blurry or doubled image. If you see this, don't dismiss it as your eyes playing tricks on you. That blur could be the key to your $3 million payday. Now, here's a fun fact for you. Coins with errors like this are super rare because the US Mint usually catches and destroys them. But every now and then, a few slip through the cracks and end up in someone's pocket, or if you're lucky, your pocket. Speaking of lucky, let me tell you about my own brush with coin collecting fate. A few years back, I was at a flea market, sifting through a box of random coins some guy was selling for $1 a piece. I found a 1982 penny and thought, hey, this might be worth something. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. But it sparked my obsession with coin hunting. Now, I'm here helping you avoid the rookie mistakes I made. Anyway, back to the 2001p Ellis Island quarter. How do you know if you have one? First, check the mint mark. It should be a P. Second, look for that double design on George Washington's profile. If you find one, get it authenticated by a professional coin grading service. Don't just take it to your cousin Larry who once watched a documentary on rare coins. You need the real deal here. And if it's legit, oh buddy, you're sitting on a jackpot. The current market value for this coin in pristine condition is, you guessed it, $3 million. That's life-changing money, folks. Alright, let's recap. The 2001p Ellis Island, Washington quarter could be the most valuable coin you've never noticed. Keep your eyes peeled for the Philadelphia mint mark and that doubling error on Washington's profile. Who knows? You might just be holding onto a tiny fortune without even realizing it. Now, before you dash off to raid your piggy bank, let me hit you with this. If you love learning about coins worth money and how to find them, make sure to subscribe. I've got plenty more tips, stories, and strategies to help you turn spare change into big bucks. And hey, if you do find that 2001p quarter, don't forget who gave you the idea. Okay? Just kidding. Sort of. Alright, happy hunting, coin detectives. I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to smash that like button on your way out. Who knows? It might be good luck. We're diving into the incredible story of the 2006 Ellis Island, Washington quarter that's reportedly worth a jaw-dropping $6 million. Yeah, you heard that right, $6 million. Before we jump in, let me tell you about the time I thought I struck it rich with a rare penny, only to find out it was worth a whopping 25 cents. Spoiler alert. My dreams were crushed faster than a vending machine coin reject. But hey, that's why I'm here, so you can avoid those heartbreaks and just maybe hit the jackpot. Alright, let's talk about this golden goose of a quarter. The 2006 Ellis Island, Washington quarter is part of the State Quarters program, one of the most popular coin series in U.S. history. This specific coin honors Ellis Island, the gateway to America for millions of immigrants. But what makes this particular coin so special isn't just its historical significance. It's a rare error that has collectors going bananas. Here's the scoop. The $6 million value isn't for any old 2006 Ellis Island quarter. This mind-blowing price tag comes from an ultra-rare misprint. Some coins were struck with a die error that created a unique doubling effect on the lettering or design. If you're lucky enough to find one, congratulations, you've just found your retirement plan. What to look for: check for doubling on the words Ellis Island or the date. It's like a magic eye puzzle, but with way bigger stakes. Look closely at George Washington's profile. Any unusual texture, misalignment, or doubling could mean you've hit the coin lottery. Why $6 million? Coins with this kind of error are one of a kind, and collectors will pay big bucks for a unique piece of history. It's also about supply and demand. The rarer the error, the crazier the price. How to check if yours is the real deal: grab a magnifying glass, or, if you're like me, borrow the one your kid uses to burn ants. If you spot something unusual, take it to a professional coin grader. They'll verify if it's the $6 million beauty or just another 25-cent contender. Oh, and here's a funny story. I once spent an entire afternoon staring at a quarter, convinced it was an error coin. Turned out it was just a smudge from a spilled coffee. Lesson learned: clean your coins before you panic. So, what's the takeaway? Always check your change. That boring pile of coins in your jar could hold a hidden gem worth millions. But remember, patience is key. Not every coin is a jackpot, but the thrill of the hunt. That's priceless. If you found this video helpful, or even just mildly entertaining, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got tons of tips, tricks, and stories coming your way, all about coins worth money and how you can uncover treasures in your everyday life. Thanks for watching, and happy coin hunting. Who knows? Maybe next time we'll be talking about your $1 million find. We're talking about the 2017 P. Ellis Island Washington quarter dollar. That's right, folks. A quarter that could put some serious cash in your pocket, or if you're like me, maybe even fund your entire snack stash for a year. So, let's dive in and talk about what makes this quarter so special, and why it's currently valued at a whopping $7 million. Yep, you heard that right. Let's get to it. Camera zooms in as the host gets serious but still playful. So, first things first, what makes this 2017 P. Ellis Island Washington quarter stand out in the crowd of quarters that are mostly meh? You've got your regular quarters, and then you've got these little nuggets of history that are worth more than the lunch you ate 5 minutes ago. This coin was part of the 2017 America the Beautiful Quarters program, celebrating Ellis Island in New York Harbor. Now, I know what you're thinking. Isn't Ellis Island that place where all the immigrants passed through in the early 1900s? Yep, you're right. It's an iconic symbol of America's immigrant history. And this quarter? It features an incredible image of the Ellis Island Gateway. No, not a fancy archway, but the literal entrance that millions of immigrants walked through. That's some serious history packed into a tiny coin. Folks, cuts to a coin zoom shot with a magnifying glass hovering over the details of the coin. The 2017 P. Ellis Island quarter was made with the P mint mark, the first time the Philadelphia Mint put a mint mark on a circulating quarter since 1942. So, this isn't just your average quarter that you'll find in a vending machine. Nope, this coin is a piece of American numismatic history, and it's got some serious bragging rights. Now, why is this coin valued at $7 million? Here's where it gets crazy. There are rumors that a very small batch of these quarters were minted with a huge mistake. Some of these coins have a slight misprint or error, which makes them insanely rare, and rare means valuable. So, if you've got one of these, hold on to it like it's your last slice of pizza at a party. Because a coin with the right error can fetch millions at auction. That's right, millions, not just a few bucks. Speaking of finding treasure, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at a yard sale when I spotted a jar of old coins. Looked like nothing special, just a bunch of pennies and dimes. So, naturally, I made my typical, embarrassing move and tried to lowball the seller. Hey, I'll give you $5 for this jar. Turns out, one of those dimes was a rare 1916 Mercury dime worth around $3,000. Yep, I almost passed up the deal of a lifetime to save a couple of dollars. So, lesson learned, folks. Never underestimate the value of old coins, and always check your change. Alright, before you run off to check your change jar or raid your piggy bank, let me tell you this. While the 2017 P. Ellis Island Washington quarter is worth a lot, it's also a great reminder that sometimes, the most valuable things are the ones we overlook every day. Just like that jar of old coins I almost passed up, your pocket change could be hiding some serious wealth. If you've got a 2017 P. Ellis Island quarter sitting around, give it a good look, especially if it's got an error or looks a little off from the rest of your quarters. And hey, if you find one that's worth millions, remember who told you about it first. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want more tips on coins worth money. Trust me, there's a ton of treasure out there that's just waiting to be discovered. And remember, don't let your change become your loss. Keep collecting, keep hunting, and keep those eyes peeled for that elusive $7 million quarter. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll